Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Well, let's give a couple minutes for people
Yes,
to wander in.
yes, we will.
Hopefully,
Don't want you to miss anything.
Right.
So we'll give it a couple minutes.
yes.
How's your day going?
My day has been pretty great.
Yeah.
Pretty great. Excited to talk about our course
Yeah,
and do this live stream.
me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yes.
It's a shame that Eric can't be here.
Yes. I believe he's on a flight back
Yes.
home.
He literally cannot join. I'm sure he would love to be here though.
All right.
Can't see it. Here we go. Oh, great.
Oh, good. You can hear us? Okay.
Wonderful.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right, well, maybe we can start introducing ourselves.
Yeah. So my name is Erica. I have been teaching English for 13 years, I believe. I'm losing count now, but I have taught from little people up through adults. I think my oldest student was like 75 or maybe older. And I've taught in the US, in China, and now in Spain. So I live in Spain.
Great. And I am Sam, and in a previous life, I worked in the motion picture industry. And about 5 or 6 years ago, I moved to Spain and started teaching. So I've been teaching abroad since then. And we have I guess one of our main projects is we have a YouTube channel, which is called Breathe English. And we create videos to teach English, using English in context, using important phrases and vocabulary that specifically have to do with certain situations. So that's our main project right now, but we're going to share a different project with you today.
We are. If you don't know our YouTube channel, go check it out. I started it about 2 years ago because I was teaching adults and I love using videos in my classes, because I love, teaching the language and then letting people see it in context. But I realized there were a lot of videos I wish were out there that weren't. So I started this project making videos, and Sam joined last year, and it's been really fun.
Yes, we have a great time. All right, so let's see. Where is everybody from? We have fans from India. Hello. Uzbekistan. Amazing. Greece.
Sunny
Greece. Here it's sunny, but it is not warm. We're in Valencia, Spain.
Yes, but also Mediterranean. So
Yes, we are.
Mediterranean connection.
Yes, from Turkey, from India, from Morocco. Hi, thank you so much for joining, everyone. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about a course that we are developing for professionals, for professional situations, for getting a job, working in English, being in the workplace. Our philosophy in general is not about preparing people for a specific exam or a specific certificate. We tend to focus on preparing people for situations, to be comfortable speaking. We encourage speaking overall. And so the idea for this course came from multiple friends of ours who have told us, I work in an English office, an English speaking office, but I do not feel comfortable speaking, expressing myself, and and communicating with my coworkers. I get nervous, or for whatever reason, I'm just not able to. I'm not working on all cylinders. So we thought, well, that's not right. We want to help people feel more comfortable and be able to really use the language that they need to use in those situations.
Yes, so we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about our course. We'll be showing some teaching snippets from the course. So we'll be doing some dialogues, talking about how you would use this course. And then we'll get into, for you teachers tuning in today as a teacher, how you could use this course with your students, how you could bring it to life in your classroom.
Yeah, and look, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name. Fairuza says, look, all the adults I work with had the same problem too.
Okay,
Exactly,
yeah.
because there are so many courses that it's not really about learning how to conjugate verbs, right? If you're working in a job, it's not really about, subject verb agreement. There's a lot of sort of soft skills that you need to learn. How to speak in the right tone with someone, how to use shorthand or some office slang that's very common. So those are more of what we focus on in this course.
Yes. So this slide you can see, we just wanted to show the importance of being skilled at English in the workplace. So you can see there where English is not an official language, 2/3 of employers say English is important for their business. So that is a lot. And I would say with more and more people working remotely, that number is just, it's increasing. I've talked to lots of people who they work remotely, they're in IT or whatever job. And most of their communication as they're working in whatever country, Spain or wherever, is in English. And also, there is an average of an 18% increase in salary expectation for people with improved English skills. So there's a big incentive for people to improve those skills and make more money.
Yeah, exactly. So English, they're working for you. Oh yeah, different computer.
Okay. And then just a quick, just so you know, you're able to sign up on our website and enroll in the course, and you can try the first lesson for free. You can do that today. Check it out. It has 5 different topics, so 5 videos, 5 quizzes, and then a final quiz. So go try it for free. See what you think.
Yeah, there's literally no reason to not try out the first lesson, and we would love to have your feedback as well, so that we are making available for everyone right off the bat. Okay, so today our theme is networking. Okay, we would love to ask all of you, what is your experience with networking? Have you had to do it before? Where have you done it? Like what kind of events or what kind of situations? Does your job really require networking? And how do you feel about it? So I think it's undeniable that networking is important. And we have some statistics here. An estimated 85% of jobs are filled through networking. So just knowing someone who tells you, hey, this position is opening up at this company, if you want me to put in your resume. There's just so much of that happens behind closed doors, so to speak. And that has to do with our second statistic that 70 to 80% of jobs are never posted publicly. So if you are looking for a job, if you are currently doing a job search, there's a vast amount of positions that are not even listed online on Indeed or LinkedIn or Monster. So really, there's a huge advantage from speaking with people, connecting with people, telling people what you're looking for. And that is all about networking. And that's just finding a job, right? Then there's all the other advantages, including finding customers, establishing partnerships, cross-promoting products. So finding new interesting opportunities or new ways to grow your business or grow yourself as a professional. And that all happens just through meeting people and just talking to people and knowing, you know, what's going on in the world. So let's see if you have a reaction to networking. Looks like no one is chiming in yet. How do you feel about networking, Erica?
I love networking, but I love meeting new people, whether it's in-person events. I love, maybe I have exactly what they need, or I know someone who can fill some need that they have. I love connecting people. I've also networked online, so like LinkedIn or even like YouTube. So many opportunities to network, but it's not always easy in a language that's not your first language. So that's what we're trying to help people with. It's part of the course.
Yeah. And I'm really the opposite. I don't enjoy talking to people I don't know. I feel a little uncomfortable, or I don't really know what to say. So I kind of dread, and I worked in the movie business where networking is everything. So I would force myself to go network, but I was always just like, oh, I don't want to. I don't want to. But anyway, so we're going to try to give you some of these tools to make networking less of a chore.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do our first dialogue here. So in this scene, we don't know each other. It is a networking event, conference, and we're going to break the ice. So you can see part of the dialogue there. So here's some listening practice for you people practicing your English. So listen to what is said to break the ice, and also think about, are there other options of things you could say to introduce yourself, break the ice with someone?
Yeah, what other alternatives?
Are you ready? So
I'm ready.
Lights, camera, action. Mind if I join you?
Oh, yeah, not at all.
I don't think we've met. I'm Erica Bisbee.
I'm Samantha Jillian. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Okay, see.
And see.
Just a quick snippet. So, what did you hear? What did we say in those blanks? You can type. What did we say? The first thing that Erica said to start the conversation and initiate contact with me. What did she say?
They would be typing.
Everyone's busily typing. I know this. Okay. She said, mind if I join you? Very good.
I think it's Icham. Icham, you got it. I did.
Excellent.
I said, mind if I join you? So mind means, does it bother you if I join you? Which is why she responded with a negative. No, not at all.
Right.
It doesn't bother.
It doesn't bother me. No, not at all. And then she said, I don't think.
Yep, I don't think we've met. Yes. So let's look at
some of these options. So here are some other options, and chime in if you have your own way of breaking the ice, or if you have another idea about how to initiate the conversation. So Erica said, mind if I join you? She said, I don't think we've met. So that's a really polite way of asking for someone's name and introducing yourself. It's much better than saying, who are you? Or, I don't know you.
very polite.
Right. Or she could have said, hi, I wanted to introduce myself, right? And go ahead and give her a name. And then she can also start talking about starting the conversation. Is this your first time here? Is kind of a good initial question. Or how did you hear about this event? If they are at a networking event or a conference, something like that. So those are some other options that she could have used. Okay.
And if you have other ideas, go ahead. You can write them in at any time.
Yes, we want you to be thinking about, what else could we say? What would I say in this situation?
I think exactly. Okay, we're going to move on to the next part of the dialogue. So same place, same two people. So once you break the ice, the question is, what do you talk about? What do you ask? What are polite things to bring up? So we are going to act that out here. And while you're listening, think of maybe other topics you could discuss, other questions you could ask, and go ahead, write them in the comments at any time.
Yes, we want your feedback. Okay, part 2 of the dialogue.
Lights, camera, action.
So, what do you do?
I used to be in finance, but now I create educational content.
Oh, I'm also a content creator.
Wow. Tell me more. What projects are you working on?
Well, cut.
And see.
Okay, so what was said in those blanks? Did you catch that? I started the conversation or this snippet of the dialogue, and what did I say first?
Mhm.
Let's give people a moment.
Mhm. And this question as a hint, it's a way to ask someone about their job,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a phrase that's common in English.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tom, got it again.
Yes.
Yes, what do you do? I used to work in finance. Yeah.
Very good.
Mhm.
Okay, what do you do? And then I used to work in finance. Um, okay, good. So, and then, but she changed careers, right?
Mhm.
Now I create language learning content. Good. Amen. What do you do? Very good.
Yes. So, what do you do is a way to ask, what do you do for work?
Yes.
So, it's not like, what are you doing right now? I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
So, what do you do is, how do you make money? Or what do
Yeah.
you do with your time in general?
Right. What is your occupation?
Mhm.
And then Sam responding to her, very good. Aklak, I am a content creator. Perfect.
Got it.
So we have the same job, right? She says, I create learning content, and I say, I am a content creator. So those are two different ways of expressing the same occupation. So in this scenario, these characters have the good fortune to share something in common, right? We both make content, but and that's a great way to generate the conversation. But what if you don't? What if you don't have that thing in common with someone? What else can you talk about? Well, um, we already mentioned after you ask, what do you do? You can ask a question more related to the event or your circumstances, your surroundings. So you could say, how are you connected with the event that's going on? Or perhaps it's put on by an organization. Can I ask you more about? So maybe they told you what they do and you have a follow-up question. You're showing an interest in them, showing I want to know more about what you do. Can I ask you more about? You might be able to find something in common that is not just job related. So maybe you went to the same university, or you're from the same part of the country, or you recently were on vacation, something in common. You can say, I can't believe we both, and that thing that you have in common. And then another a great tool is asking for their opinion. Asking for someone's opinion is a way to imply that you respect what they think and that you want to hear about their thoughts. So, what do you think about a current event or a political figure or just the event where you are, right? What do you think about the food? Or how did you get involved in one of their activities or organizations or jobs?
Exactly. And I just want to say hi to Eric. So Eric is here. He's in the comments. Thank you for the people who have participated. And Eric, hope you're doing well. Okay, we are going to do the final part of the dialogue. So ending the conversation. So this can be tricky, ending a conversation. So listen to what we say. What phrases do we use? And when you're listening, think about what is accomplished in this last part of the dialogue. So what do they accomplish? What is the end result? And how did they get there?
Great. Okay, ready?
I am ready.
You have a lot to say in this one.
Yes, I'm gonna have to read part of it. Okay. Ready and action. Oh, I just saw someone I know that I need to go talk to.
Okay.
But would you be interested in swapping contact information? I think what you're doing is really interesting, and maybe there's a possible collaboration in the future.
That is a great idea. Here, take my card.
You.
I'm so glad we got to chat.
Yes, it's been great talking to you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too. And see.
And scene. All right. Did you hear what did I say as kind of an excuse in the conversation?
Yeah, there was an excuse there.
And this is important. So if you're at an event where you're trying to network, the idea is to talk to many different people. But sometimes ending a conversation, I think it's awkward, even in your own language. It's hard to know.
It's tough.
So having some of these key phrases like in your back pocket is helpful, because you don't want to just say, "I need to go now."
Bye.
Yeah, so it's kind of a tricky situation where you want to use very polite phrases. I think, Iman, I just saw someone that I need to talk to.
Excellent.
Ding, ding, ding.
Good. I need to come too. Good.
Yep. So you can use any excuse here, oh, I'm going to go grab some food, or I'm going to refill my drink. I'm going to go check out whatever, anything. So it's just a polite way to end your interaction with someone.
Yeah. And the second blank there. So Sam says, that's a great idea. And what does she suggest? Good. It was nice meeting you is a great suggestion.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, you can absolutely say it was nice meeting you. In this instance, she said, I'm so glad we got to chat. I'm so glad we got to chat. Right? So keeping it sounds kind of, fun, like chatting is fun, like this was a positive interaction. And I'm so glad. It's almost like we're friends now. I'm so glad.
Did we accomplish anything at the end?
Yeah.
What was the end result of this networking conversation, if you noticed? Okay. On to the next slide. So you guys.
Thinking what was accomplished.
Okay, write in the comments if you heard what was accomplished or if you noticed.
Okay, Hicham has an idea. Collaboration, really good. Opening the door, right, to a future collaboration.
Yeah. So we want to work together, maybe on a project,
right?
Business.
And how do we do that? We exchanged or we swapped contact info so we can keep in touch. Yeah. It's very, very important.
Good. So on this slide, we just have some other ideas for ending the conversation if it's an in-person conversation. So like I did, you can give an excuse why you need to go. You can say, it's nice to be complimentary. So I think we were both complimentary. We said, it's been great talking with you. I'm so glad we got to chat. So just acknowledging that you appreciated the interaction. Okay. And then if you are interested in networking further with that person, you can suggest swapping contact info. So swapping is a good word to use there. You can ask maybe for something like if you want to meet up. So could we exchange phone numbers so we could get a coffee sometime, continue this conversation? So these are just some other possible phrases you could use to politely end the conversation.
Exactly. So leaving a positive impression and paving the way to further networking and further beneficial interactions is key. Okay, so this was just a little taste of our teaching style, right? We really believe in contextualizing, giving context for language. We believe that really helps you not only understand the language, but retain it, remember it to use later in your own life. And so that idea is seen in our YouTube videos, right? Where we have all of the language in context in little scenes with a little bit of humor in there as well. And the same idea is built into our course. So we want you to see things in context and not just be memorizing phrases or memorizing vocabulary words, but kind of seeing the same language used over and over again, and really seeing when it's used and how it's used. And of course, we quiz you on that too, because every topic that we introduce has its own quiz that goes with it.
Yep. Okay, so the next part, Fran, if you could show the video, we have, it's just a screenshot. So this is just to show you the layout of a lesson. So you have some learning goals, what you're going to learn in the lesson, and then there's a video for every topic. So you can watch the video. Most of them contain dialogues like you saw us do live. And then you can see there's a quiz after each video. So you can quiz yourself, check your knowledge. There's always a final quiz. And then there's always downloadables. So downloadable worksheets, other content that you are able to use to continue practicing.
Yeah, so there's lots of different materials there to use in your learning path. And now we're going to switch gears a little bit so we can go back to the presentation. And the question is, how could this be useful for a teacher?
Exactly. So I've taught adult classes for years, and I love using already made material, good materials.
Yeah.
But really, this course is to be taken at your own pace online, but it's not necessarily providing like speaking practice. So, but I think as a teacher of adults, you could really use this material to do tons of speaking practice in your classroom. So we just wanted to show you a part of one of the downloadable worksheets. And if you are a teacher tuning in, or if you're not, just think about how you might use this resource in your classroom. So what activities could you do with your students to get them to practice? This is workplace jargon. So jargon means like, it's kind of like slang or idioms or specific vocabulary that is used in the workplace.
Yeah.
And as an English learner, you might not necessarily know what they mean unless you learn them. So,
or know how to use them.
or know how to use them.
Know what they mean.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what do you think, teachers? What kind of activity could you come up with in a classroom setting? We have some ideas, but we would love to hear from you as well.
Write in the comments. And so this, if you're using this this course as a teacher, it would be kind of a flipped classroom idea. So like your students could be watching the videos, doing the quizzes on their own time. So they've learned the content. And then when they're with you in the class, you could do activities which use a lot of speaking to really use that content, that language that they have gotten from the course, from the videos. So they can do all that in their own time. And then when they're with you, it's a lot of production. So language production. So let us know in the comments if you have ideas what you could do. Let's look a little bit at this worksheet. So we have touch base. So touch base is connect with someone, talk about something, it might be a project. See touch base, like, oh, let's touch base next week.
Right.
So let's.
Yeah, these communication jargon terms are really broken into two groups. So one group, it just means to speak with, really, just to speak again. And the other is about responding to someone, right? That's okay. You don't need to be able to read all the questions. But hopefully you can see the jargon up at the top. So under the speak with column is touch base, like Erica said. To check in with someone is, again, speaking with someone. If you're checking in, maybe you're seeing how they're doing on something. To ping them is a little bit more of like a reminder. but it's still just speaking with, and then also connecting. So maybe you might say, I'm going to connect with her next week. That means you're going to talk to her. Very simple.
Yes. And the question, if you can't see the questions down there, so this worksheet, each prompt is giving you like a scenario. So
that's great.
Oh, it's a little bigger there. So like the first one, have you heard from David about how the proofs are coming along? So in that case, you would respond to that using the jargon ping.
Right. So the idea is your response uses the target word ping in that responding to that situation. And then, right. And so the rest of the jargon words on the right mean respond. So if you're getting back to someone, you're responding to them. If you're going to let someone know, I'll let you know, you're responding to them. If you're going to circle back on something, you're going to come back and respond. So really, they all mean more or less the same thing. But all of these terms are used frequently in professional settings. And if you haven't heard it before, you might think, what is this? Okay, well, we don't have any comments from our teachers.
Teachers out there, let us know. What could you do to get your students speaking with this lesson specifically? I can talk about what I might do.
What would you do, Erica?
I would use this worksheet and pair up my students and have them kind of go through these questions together. It could just be, talking. They could write it out. Hicham says role play. I was just going to say that. Role play. So pretend, I'm your colleague and you're the new employee, whatever kind of role play you want to do. Maybe they practice and perform it for the rest of the class.
I think a lot of these terms are used in meetings. So either in person or, a Zoom online meeting. And so I think it would be fun to have each of the students sort of conclude the meeting using some of these terms, right? So each student one by one, wraps up the class basically by saying, okay, everybody, like, let's check in next week and make sure you ping me about whatever the homework, and just have each person kind of have their turn to conclude the meeting. So a mock meeting.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to do some writing practice, these are really common to use in messages, in emails. So you could, pretend you're writing little inner office emails to each other and how you might use these.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so those are just some of the ideas that could be useful for teachers. Okay, I think we're ready to move on. Okay, so I guess we're wrapping up here. We'd love to hear if you have any questions, either about the course or for us or our YouTube channel. All questions are absolutely welcome. But again, we just wanted to say the first lesson is free. It's truly free. You don't have to give us anything. You do have to register on the website and you click enroll in the course, and then it is all yours. And again, every topic has a video lesson and a quiz to test you on that knowledge. There's at least 2 worksheets that you can download and work on from every lesson. And then the final quiz to sort of see how much information you've retained at the end. So I don't know, does this seem like a useful tool to you? We'd love to hear what you guys think. We definitely have heard people needing a resource like this, and so we would love to hear what you guys think.
Now we have some comments. So Rita did a speaking activity just today with her students. The task from the textbook asked them to ask each other a set of questions about their shopping habits and then report their partner's answers. That is a great activity. I also love switching you have to switch the pronouns and conjugate the verbs differently when you're talking about someone else.
Yeah.
She shops every Wednesday, for example.
Right.
It's a great activity.
That's great. Yeah, exactly. Yes, reporting back to the group is a
Yes.
great idea, making them speak with the whole group.
Yes. And yeah, any questions? We'd love to open that up, like Sam said. Feel free to type in any questions you have. Again, we're really excited about this course. We've been working hard on it, and it's really hoping it's going to be useful for lots of people out there.
Yeah.
Who maybe they want to try a new job opportunity, or they just don't feel comfortable in their current job with their English level.
Yeah.
Or if you're a teacher and this seems like a good resource for you to use with your students.
Right. Maybe you're working with people who are from other countries, and job preparation is something that's really important to them. This could be a great resource.
Yeah.
We think. Okay, we do have a question, Feruja. How do you think to start a course with a beginner, someone that doesn't know anything except some words? That is tricky. Well, I don't think that this course would be for them, to be honest.
This course is for at least probably intermediate, at least if you're early intermediate. After we finish this course, we would love to make a more beginner online course. So for people who are absolute beginners, we do plan to eventually roll that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, this course maybe intermediate and above.
Yeah. But I think if you're asking in general, like how to start with someone who has a really limited vocabulary, I think you have to start with a lot of comprehension. So a lot of listening and reading, because they're obviously not able to produce a lot of language at that point. So a lot of listening exercises, a lot of reading, checking understanding,
A lot of
visuals, right,
pictures,
right,
videos.
to sort of start absorbing a little more vocabulary. And then, even repeating, to sort of get the sounds in their mouth if they're from a different culture and the sounds are a little bit different. So those are some of the techniques that, like, I, for example, use in classes with children. The problem is a lot of the resources for people with that limited vocabulary, they're resources for children. So it's like, there's only so much you can do with colors and numbers and shapes. So yeah, I agree. I think finding an interesting resource for adults who don't have a lot of experience speaking and producing language is a challenge. But again, it's just about sort of trying to get them to understand the input, and then with time you start to get some output.
Exactly. And the good thing with adults is they're already, they've mastered their own language. So I think, they will learn a new language probably faster than a small child who's still learning their language. But you do need to teach it in a different way, in a very organized fashion. So you want to, and there's tons of resources out there to know, teaching order. So teaching order of grammar and such. But then, like Sam said, you don't want to use too like little kitty kind of materials.
Right.
There's stuff out there. Yeah. Rita says, would you please suggest a few speaking activities that are aimed at getting even the most hesitant or shy learners to speak English? That's true. That can be a challenge. Shy students.
I think, not everyone likes to speak in front of a group. I think one key, it's not a specific activity, but finding things that they are truly interested in. So if someone's going to be more inclined to speak, they're going to want to speak about something that they love, something that they're passionate about, something that kind of makes them feel cool or is fun to talk about, right? So if they're having to talk about, you know, climate change, and maybe it's not something that's really motivating for them. Um, I think, letting them speak about their favorite TV show if it's something they really love.
Yeah, I think the passion kind of overrides it's stronger than the shyness, because if they're really interested or passionate about something, it's easier to forget their feelings of being nervous.
Right.
And I think, like Sam said, she's right. Like, not everyone is ready to be in front of, say, a whole class of people. I love doing pair activities. So if you have a actual class of various students, I think working one-on-one, it's usually not a problem, even for really shy students, as long as they're not in front of everyone. And then if you have, say, you teach one-on-one, students always hate it at first, but I think recording themselves, like on their phone, speaking, and maybe only they hear it. Maybe, you say you record yourself, listen to it, and delete it. Like, no one has to see it. Maybe that's the first step. And then maybe the next time, maybe they share it with just you. So I think baby steps, to get them more comfortable using that new language, because everyone's nervous speaking a new language. I think it's normal.
Yeah. And again, it's not an exercise, but we work with a lot of Spanish people, and there's sort of a mentality of they don't want to say something if it's going to be wrong, and so they just block themselves from saying anything, right? And I think just encouraging mistake making, like making mistakes, is part of that journey to improvement. And I don't correct every mistake in my lessons, because I'm not there to sort of stop people. I don't want to stop people from producing language. I want them to feel comfortable producing language. And then as they sort of integrate the grammar rules and get more comfortable, those mistakes will get cleared up.
Yeah, I think that's a common thing, and maybe it's how people are taught traditionally, a language where the grammar has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And when I'm listening to people, or when I'm speaking Spanish, like, I think people would rather that I speak fluidly and I keep going rather than stop, think about the grammar, and correct myself. They don't care. They want the story. They want the idea. And I think people are really good at ignoring mistakes. But yeah, I think really encouraging that in your classroom is key, because we do really want fluidity.
Yeah, exactly. Sarah, you can see our website is on this slide, on the left part of the slide. It's breatheenglish.com. So breathe with an E at the end, english.com. And then if you go to our website and you click on courses, you will find this course is there for you to register and enroll. And it is available. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, and you can also, our contact is on the website too. So if you have any questions about registering or any problems, just send us an email. We also have our WhatsApp number on there, so you can write us a WhatsApp message.
Exactly. We have another question from Tai or Thay. Do you have any tips how to speak with full self-confidence when we talk with other people around us? Oof, this is a good question.
Well, we are both English speakers living in Spain, so this is a day-to-day struggle. And I've been here a little over a year, and I still feel nervous, or I don't have full confidence when I'm speaking Spanish and people are listening and I think they're judging me. But I think just reminding yourself that people really don't care if you make mistakes so much. They're probably impressed that you speak as well as you do, that you've learned another language, and almost 100% of the time they want to help you. They want to help you improve. They want to understand you. So it's just our own judging of ourselves.
Exactly. And like you feel like, you feel stupid. You're like, I can express myself better than this, I promise. We only know a couple words, and we both sort of lived that. But really it's just a self-judgment that's not useful. And I think it's important to focus on the wins, focus on the, like, what you've achieved. Like if I make someone laugh, right, when I'm speaking in Spanish, or if I make I make someone understand what I'm trying to say and sympathize, like that's at the core of what we want to do, is communicate and express ourselves. So focus on like the actual content that you are communicating, and not just, the phrases or saying the exact perfect thing. And that's going to help build your confidence, and you're going to look for that connection more and more. Like you're going to look to speak with more people and make more people smile and make more people understand you.
Yeah, I think the more of those little wins you get, the more it builds your confidence. And just remember that learning a language is a lifelong journey. It takes years and years and years and years.
Yeah. Yeah. Be patient with yourself and your teachers.
Yes.
Yes. Great. I think it makes them feel comfortable speaking English too. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Thank you, Rita, for sharing about your class. It sounds like some great activities you're doing.
Yeah.
It's always fun to share with other language teachers, like what you're doing, what's working,
Yeah.
what you're wanting to try, if you're sharing resources.
Very important. It's a good community to be in.
Yes, it is. Well, I think that's all we have. Of course, if you have more questions, feel free to write us. You'll find our contact on our website.
Yeah.
Pick up a course, let us know what you think.
Check us out on YouTube. We have a new video every week. We just came out with a video on pronouncing some tricky to pronounce words, or some words that we frequently hear mispronounced. But we also have videos about going to the doctor, going to the nail salon, cooking, gardening, just almost every topic you can think of. And we have a very special series about phrasal verbs. We know a lot of people hate phrasal verbs because there's so many of them. And they're so, so hard to remember exactly how to combine them. So
Sam plays a fairy godmother where she comes and helps me use phrasal verbs correctly. So those are fun. And then next week, also on Wednesday, we'll be doing our own live stream, and we are going to talk about slang, romance slang. So since Valentine's Day was this week, we'll be talking about specifically American slang for dating, breaking up. I don't want to give it away, but check us out on YouTube and we'll post the time so you can join that.
Yes, our very own live stream. Yes, our WhatsApp is on our website, breatheenglish.com.
Yeah. So it's at the top, or you can scroll down. There's a little message area. There's a button you can just click and chat with us on WhatsApp.
Another comment from Reda. One thing you guys mentioned that I highly recommend is not keep interrupting learners while they're trying to express themselves, just to correct them. Yeah, I totally agree. Just let people make their mistakes. It's more important that they are speaking, and that helps with their confidence.
Yeah.
For future speaking. I know, Fayruja, where are all our fans? We deserve more fans, right? I feel like I'm the only one that likes them.
People who like us really like us.
Yeah.
We need more super fans.
We have a devoted small core, including my mother, her mother.
No, we're definitely still new. We haven't been doing it for too long, but we're hoping to make better and better content. It's more content, and really, it's the quality of fans. We would love more, but they're really good fans.
Right. We are very, very happy to have you. So virtual hug return to you. Great. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. This was really fun. Hopefully you are interested in the course, or if not, interested in checking us out on YouTube. And we're here to answer questions and talk about teaching and learning English.
Yes, and thank you, Eric, for hosting this really cool week.
Yes, and Francois.
And Francois, Fran, who has been running it behind the scenes. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back on this channel again in the future.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.